Well, there have been more calls for the energy regulator, Nersa, to reject this proposal from Eskom. Eskom seeking an average tariff increase of 20.5%. In some cases, if granted, the price hike may be more than 40%. The South Durban Community Environmental Alliance, which is an NGO consisting of 21 community and environmental groups, has slammed Eskom's application and says Nersa must say no. To discuss, we're joined by the Alliance's Desmond D'Sa. Mr. D'Sa, thank you for being with us. You've put forward many reasons why Nersa should reject this application. Maybe you can start by outlining the main ones for us.
So good evening, Francis, and good evening to the listeners. Look, 77% of the electricity in South Africa produced is used by 36 of the big energy users. So those are your BHP, your aluminium smelters, your mines, your refineries, your paper mills, your, a host of big chemical industries. 13% of the energy used is used by the vast majority of poor people in this country. And yeah, I'm talking about the working class who have gone through many struggles during the COVID. You must bear in mind that people have been unemployed and have not worked during COVID. Eskom's demand, since 2008, I have attended the National Energy Regulator and I put forward proposal to shift away and to move away to a just energy transition, getting everybody on board so we can develop a plan that takes cognizance of the fact that you place the energy in the hands of ordinary people and make it accessible. But at the same time, you do not destroy the environment. Despite all the evidence that shows that we have a climate crisis and that Eskom has contributed to the coal, to the climate crisis by the huge use of coal in this country, which should not be used at all. Coal should be kept in the ground. And poor people that live alongside these huge Eskom power stations, as well as the coal mines, do not benefit from any of the electricity.
Yeah.
Furthermore, in 2009, we warned the government of South Africa not to take the big loans to continue to build Medupi and Kusile. And we know Medupi and Kusile is not fully operational. And it's cost us billions of rands, which not even myself, it'll be the future, our great-grandchildren that will have to pay all the costs.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of money made.
May I present an argument that's often put forward about renewables? We all want a brighter future with wind and solar power and less dirty energy. But some people say that the cost of that is going to be huge. In the short term, could that not actually increase tariffs rather than decrease tariffs?
Really, from all the research done and the evidence that's been done, even in South Africa, where renewables are used in the Eastern Cape and the Western Cape, and even here in Durban, where there are renewable energy grids, it's far cheaper.
Yeah, but the switch to renewables for Eskom to switch very quickly, that's not going to happen overnight, and it will affect the costing. Do you not agree?
Well, why take the loan from the Glasgow Agreement? Why accept the big loan to move and switch to renewables if you're not going to do it? This is what Eskom has done in the past, and we hope they're not going to do it now, because the Glasgow Agreement gives them an opportunity to move to renewable energy, to provide access to poor people of this country who are energy poverty, who are kept out of the grid, who are kept away from, from the electricity. If you look at we drive around the area. If you find that most of the people in the townships, in poor areas, in the working class community, it's all darkness.
Yeah.
And that's because electricity has gone way beyond the cost of ordinary people who can afford. The affordability factor is not being cast in stone. Eskom continues to ensure that they go out there and they can resort to the courts and therefore get increases from the courts and get Nersa to approve their. But if you look at, it's been 5 years of 25% of over 100% of increases that Eskom has been approved and has been given.
How bad do you think it is for poor South Africans, the people you're talking about? Are people finding alternatives? Do you think that many feel they have no alternative but to go for illegal connections or something like that?
Well, look, people have been betrayed. People are using kerosene, which is candles. They're using stoves. They're using wood to burn and to cook their food. Children are in informal settlements do not have electricity at all because they are studying with under candles and paraffin. And you know that most of the informal settlements are catching on fire because of using of kerosene and as well as candles in those homes for the children to study. So I think what should be done, they should electrify those informal settlements and provide decent houses for people in the future. Government has to come with a holistic plan and ensure that Eskom is not milking poor people and getting more cutoffs and more people are dying because of them not getting proper energy use into those homes. Yeah. We hope that that Nersa doesn't agree with the request from Eskom to get a price increase, and that the country, because it'll make things worse. People are already struggling in this country.
Finally, from Eskom's perspective, maybe there's a different future, and maybe there's been corruption in the past. Management saying they're trying to deal with what they've got at the moment, trying to fix things, and what they've got is a black hole, as it were, in terms of the debt from the past, all their financial obligations. So where else can they go? The money's got to come from somewhere. So if government's not bailing them out, then it comes from us who use power. Do you have any sympathy for the plight of Eskom itself?
Well, I think what should happen, they should cancel those special price agreements. There's no way anywhere in the world does industry get preferential treatment where you pay 1/10 of the electricity bill and ordinary people pay far more than that. And I think that's where it must start. Those that are making huge profits, that use a lot of energy, that's where they need to go and recover the money. And secondly, we are providing electricity to our neighboring countries who are not paying a cent, yet you are forcing South Africans and disconnecting South Africans out of the electricity grid. I think there needs to be a balance over here, and that they're not going to be able to recover the money from Soweto or any big townships. It's going to be very difficult. The pricing, the model that they're using is not workable. They need to find a new way of making sure that they work with the people on the ground to ensure that a just transition is done.
Okay.
And more importantly, that the industry in this country starts paying back the proper pricing for the energy use that they've made, where profits are shifted overseas.
Thank you very much. That was Desmond D'Sa from the South Durban Community Environmental Group.